Introducing the Open Palm Podcast with host Jerome Shaw, available today on your favorite podcast platforms. The Open Palm Podcast is a positive, uplifting, motivational, and inspirational podcast. The host brings his insight and philosophy, and you can't help but gravitate towards his smile, his words, and his wisdom. Again, the podcast he hosts is titled the Open Palm Podcast. It's about inspirational messages, motivating themes, and thought-provoking ideas and topics. He'll also help you become more aware and in harmony with your own life, giving you a better understanding of your place in the world and using your skills accordingly, greeting the world with an open palm instead of a closed fist. You can find the show today on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. You can also connect with the host on Instagram at Jerome Shaw. That's JROMESHAW on Instagram. Jerome Shaw with the Open Palm Podcast. Motivation, meditation, mentality. Go listen, download, and subscribe today.
There once lived a stone cutter who was unhappy with his insignificant life. Passing by a rich merchant's home one day, he was awed by its grandeur and the stream of visitors going in. "He must be a powerful man. How I wish I could be him," he thought. Astonishingly, he found himself transformed into the merchant. Surrounded though he was by unimaginable riches, he also found himself the object of hate and envy by those less privileged than him. Just then, an important official passed, carried by attendants in a grand procession. "Oh, how powerful that gent looks! Wish I could be him." His wish came true, and he found himself riding high. All around, people watched him go past, with expressions of fear and hate. The richly embroidered chair suddenly felt sticky thanks to the sun beating down. Looking skywards, he thought, "How powerfully the sun shines! I wish—" No sooner did the thought bloom than he became the sun, burning fiercely from the sky and cursed by peasants and farm laborers. Then an enormous dark cloud blocked the sun. No prizes for guessing the man's thoughts. He became the cloud, which burst forth with rain, causing floods and misery. Shortly, he felt an irresistible force pushing him. It was the wind. How powerful it was. No sooner did he wish than he became the gusty wind, wreaking havoc with rooftops, uprooting tree trunks, spreading fear and panic. Sometime later, he found himself coming up against an object that was immovable no matter how forcefully he blew. It was a towering rock. "Oh, to be that rock," thought he. And indeed, he became the rock, hard and invincible. After a while, he heard the pounding of hammer on chisel. He was being changed. But how? Who could possibly challenge his power? Looking down, he saw a small figure at the bottom. It was a stonecutter. What do you gather from this story, my friend? Does it make you think of how things tend to always be better away from us? How we tend to see the grass as greener on the other side? They say to dream of the life or the person you wish to be is to waste the one you are. How many of us envy and are jealous of others, living our lives vicariously through others, imagining what others might be experiencing, when we have our own lives right here, right before us. Would we ever know the joy of being ourselves if we are always wondering and wishing we could be something or someone else? Sometimes it takes some thought to realize that all along we are more than enough. Thank you for listening, my friend. This has been Jerome Shaw on TOP, the Open Palm Podcast here in San Antonio, Texas. I pray you received an encouraging message letting you know that this story of the stonecutter, his realization in the end that he was more powerful than he thought, would allow you to also realize that often you are more than you think. Share this with a like-minded individual, learning and growing, becoming their greatest version just like you, being all that they can be just the way they are. Pay it forward so more can hear the message. And if this is your very first time receiving this podcast, thank you, my friend. Thank you for finding the Open Palm. Consider subscribing for more inspirational messages like this. And if you feel it in your heart to support, you can open your browser to anchor.fm/jshaw. Clicking the support link there is much appreciated. Big shout out and thank you to all the wonderful supporters who continue to donate, making it possible for episodes like this. Have a wonderful and blessed day or night, wherever you are. And as always, take care, my friend. Hey there, my friend. So you've heard about Anchor, but do you know why it's the easiest way to make a podcast? Well, first off, it's free. It allows you to use creation tools that let you record your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also distributes your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. You can even make money from your podcast with minimum listenership. It's everything you need in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Can't wait to hear yours. Let's see what you have to offer the world.